Beginning, the human among the stars. My name is Ethan Vale, and I was the first human ever admitted to the Zerath Intergalactic Academy, a massive spaceborne university orbiting the twin suns of the Xylar system. It was supposed to symbolize unity, the day humans stood shoulder to shoulder with species that once thought us too primitive to bother with. But from the moment I stepped into the Academy's shining halls, I knew one thing. Unity was a myth. The Zerath students whispered whenever I passed. Some laughed at the way I spoke, others stared at my skin as if I were a strange creature dragged out of a swamp. And then there was Vara Th'yen, a bright blue-skinned alien girl from the noble Th'yen lineage, known for her quick wit and sharper tongue. She was beautiful, no denying that. 4 luminous eyes that shimmered like liquid crystal, hair that shifted color depending on her mood. But she had one hobby she excelled in more than anything: making fun of Earth. It started small jokes about our single-moon planet, or the fact that humans still eat plants like ancient animals. Everyone laughed, including me. I didn't want to seem thin-skinned. But it escalated. During interspecies history class, Vara pulled up an image of an ancient Earth war. Smoke, fire, cities in ruins. Imagine, she said, loud enough for everyone to hear, being so savage that your species nearly destroyed its own planet. Humans don't conquer galaxies. They just conquer themselves. The laughter that followed burned worse than any insult. That night I stayed up late, staring out my dorm window at the starfield. I didn't hate Vara. Not exactly. But I promised myself something. One day she'd see that Earth wasn't a joke. That humanity had earned its place among the stars. The mission to Xylar Prime. 3 months later, the Academy announced the annual cultural exchange expedition. A team of mixed species would travel to Xylar Prime, an uncolonized world rich in alien flora, to study potential habitation. To my disbelief, Vara and I were assigned to the same team. When we boarded the shuttle, she smirked. "Try not to die of oxygen shock, Earthboy. Xylar's air is thicker than your planet's history books." I rolled my eyes, but deep down her words stung. Focused on the mission. We were scientists, not comedians. Our team of 6 landed on Xylar Prime after a 3-day jump. The planet was breathtaking. Emerald skies, silver oceans, trees that shimmered like mirrors. But beneath its beauty lay danger. The air was dense with reactive spores, and the wildlife didn't like visitors. On the 3rd day, everything went wrong. Our environmental shields began to flicker. Vara and I were gathering samples when a tremor shook the ground. The surface split open, revealing a chasm glowing with molten light. Vara screamed as the ground beneath her gave way. Without thinking, I dove forward, grabbed her arm, and pulled with all my strength. Her weight almost dragged us both in, but I managed to haul her to solid ground just as the fissure sealed behind us. We tumbled onto the dirt, gasping for air. She looked at me, shocked, 4 eyes wide. "You saved me." I shrugged, brushing dust off my sleeves. "Guess even primitive humans know how to grab a hand." She stared at me for a long time. For the first time since I'd known her, Vara didn't have a joke. The discovery. 2 days later, our camp detected something beneath Xylar's surface. A metallic structure, old, buried deep. Vara insisted we investigate, eager to make a discovery for her family's scientific council. So we went, just the 2 of us. The deeper we dug, the more the scanners flickered. Finally, we broke through into a cavern filled with metal arches and broken statues. "It's a ruin," Vara whispered. "Older than any known civilization." Then the walls lit up. Lines of light danced across the surfaces, forming words. Not in Zerathian, not in any alien tongue. My heart froze. It was English. "Vara, do you see this? I asked quietly. She tilted her head. It's gibberish. It's not gibberish. It's my language. I stepped closer to the glowing script. The words read, "In remembrance of the lost expedition, humanity's reach, year 2341. My voice trembled. This is human. Earth sent explorers centuries ago. Maybe before the Galactic Network even knew we existed." Vara's face went pale, or as pale as her blue skin could go. "That's impossible. Humans only entered interstellar travel 100 years ago. Then how do you explain this?" I said, running my hand over the metal. "Your people didn't build this. We did. We were here first." The silence between us was heavy. Vara's usual arrogance had vanished. For the first time, she didn't see me as the human who didn't belong. She saw me as a descendant of something ancient, a species that had already reached these stars long before her kind learned to crawl out of their oceans. The truth unveiled. We brought our findings back to camp. The professors dismissed it at first, claiming it was an illusion or contamination. But Vara didn't let it go. She ran genetic scans on the metal residue, the atmospheric dust, even the traces of synthetic DNA found in the ruin. The results were undeniable. The creators of that base, the so-called Lost Expedition, were human. Purely, unmistakably human. When the report went public, the galactic community erupted. The Zerath Empire, proud of their ancient technological lineage, faced a devastating truth. Humanity had been among the stars first. News networks across 10 systems debated it. Some called it fraud. Others called it destiny. But the Academy couldn't ignore evidence that old. The ruins dated back 2,000 years, long before the Zerath ever achieved spaceflight. The very species they mocked had once been their teachers. The consequences. Vara tried to talk to me after the revelation. I avoided her at first. I didn't hate her, but every memory of her jokes echoed painfully now. One evening, she found me alone in the observatory dome, watching Earth spin as a small dot in the void. "I owe you an apology," she said softly. "For what?" I asked without turning. "For treating your home like a punchline. For forgetting that every world has ghosts, and some are older than we can imagine." I finally looked at her. Her eyes shimmered, not just with guilt but something deeper. "Respect." "You didn't know," I said. "No one did. But I should have listened," she replied. "You believed in your world when everyone else laughed. I should have seen that strength." We stood in silence for a moment. Then she added, "You're not just a student anymore, Ethan Vale. You're the proof that history can lie." The final revelation. A month later, new excavation teams unearthed a sealed vault deep beneath the Xylar ruins. Vara and I were invited to witness the opening ceremony. Inside, beneath layers of dust, was a cryostasis chamber. Its glass was cracked, its systems long dead. But inside was a human body. Ancient but unmistakably human. The chamber's faded label read, "Dr. Lillian H. Vale, Chief Biologist, United Earth Expedition." My blood ran cold. Vale. My surname. I stumbled back, the room spinning. Vara grabbed my arm, steadying me. She has your name," she whispered. "She's my ancestor," I said quietly. "My family always said our lineage started with someone who never came back from the stars. I thought it was a myth. Now I knew it wasn't." Vara's voice trembled. "So Earth wasn't the beginning. It was the return."